glitch in our GoToWebinar system. But again, thank you for attending our UBA GAP webinar today. For those of you who I've not met or spoken to, my name is Christy Saul, and I am Vice President of Marketing for URL Health Options Specialty Products Division, and I always say that's a really big mouthful. Essentially what I kind of handle are all the individual ancillary products, like GAP, for example, which we'll be going over one of our products today, individual disability, critical illness, indemnity plans, you name it, kidnap, ransom, all those little ancillary products. And for those of you who may be unfamiliar with URL, we are a family-owned, full-service brokerage firm offering all lines but property and casualty, and we have been in business for close to 30 years. I'm going to kind of skip the rest of my typical cliff notes on URL because we are running late. But I do want to show you our website, which is urlinsgroup.com. If you are new to URL, you can use a user ID of GRAND, G-R-A-N-D, and a password of Cayman, C-A-Y-A-M, to get into our website. And Grand Cayman did not come about out of the blue. We are actually taking our President's Club trip in 2016 to Grand Cayman, and I just want to go across here. Again, these show all of our different departments, our annuity solutions, our health plan options, life markets, senior care products, and again, a lot of good information on our website. There's a Grand Cayman, my URL. There's a lot of links here. We do have discount E&O, lead programs, and again, every piece of business you do with URL, be it in the life department, health department, senior care, accrues trip points, and we do like to give back to our agents as well. Just want to show you very quickly before I hand the program over to Ryan where you can find information on the UBA product, which we'll be going over today. You want to go to product information, and this is going to show all of our group health, individual health, group, and individual ancillary products, and UBA is right here. And then again, the brochure, another presentation, that type of thing, contracting. Everybody is muted because a lot of times we hear babies crying, dogs barking, and people on their cell phones. But there is an area where you can type in your questions. At the end of the webinar, we will go over all of your questions. So, and again, you have my email address. It's christy.s@urlinsgroup.com. If we go through this presentation and you think of a question, give me a call, shoot me an email, and we are here to help. So without further delay, I'm going to hand the presentation over to Ryan.
All right, Christy. Just one moment. We're getting the PowerPoint here. And again, apologies. So just to introduce our program, it is a very simple program. It's UBA, and just to sort of get into what we do, the simplicity of it, we're going to focus our attention on the benefit in the center of the screen, the GAP Plus plan. So that is, simply put, a $6,600 benefit for accidents and critical illness. We also have built in a $5,000 benefit for AD&D and a $5,000 for term life. Now, the term life benefit is not offered in some states, which we'll discuss a little bit further. So this really was designed to line up to a bronze ACA plan with the current out-of-pocket maximums. And what we've seen is that with agents who are partnering with us, they're attaching this to 65% of their business. The other program that we'll focus some energy on would be the GAP CI plan, $20,000 of group critical illness. You'll notice on the upper left-hand side of the screen, the UBA fundamental plan, those are our association benefits. So those would include CallMD, free vitamins, RX discount card, Pet RX card, and a few others. So in terms of those benefits, so if someone just wanted those association benefits, they could get them for $10 per month. And these are the benefits that are included in that. We won't spend too much time on this, but when someone buys any of our plans, these are included. So you have a CallMD, So I can call a doctor 24/7. I can get diagnosed and prescribe medicine, free vitamins, and some of the other things you see here. So focusing our attention on the meat and potatoes of what we do, the first program we'll spend a little time on is GAP CI. That's just $20,000 of critical illness. That is for a first diagnosis of life-threatening cancer, heart attack, or stroke. It's offered in the states listed there. It is $30 per month for an individual and $60 a month for a family. And it is a benefit for 18 to 64 in terms of age. The plan that we sell the most of is our GAP Plus plan. So this, again, is a $6,600 benefit for accident and for critical illness. There is also a $5,000 benefit for AD&D and term life insurance. Now, what's important to keep in mind is that on our accident benefit, this is tied to the insured's out-of-pocket. So we are second to pay after their primary coverage, be that a major medical or some other plan. So in other words, if I have an out-of-pocket amount of $3,000, I pay my $100 deductible, and then this pays the remaining $2,900. Because again, it covers up to $6,600 per accident after a $100 deductible. The critical illness, very simple, very straightforward, a $6,600 benefit upon first diagnosis of life-threatening cancer, heart attack, or stroke. And as you see, it's available in the states listed there. It is $25 a month for an individual, $55 a month for a family. One thing to keep in mind about our CI benefit is that if someone has that first diagnosis of a critical illness in the first year of their plan, then they receive 10% of the face amount. So they receive $660 instead of $6,600. So it's important to know. But it's really a more than fair trade-off for the fact that we are guaranteed issue and we do not have any pre-existing condition limitations. So as we move forward, you'll note that in some states our benefits are a little bit different. So in some states we have a $5,000 benefit for accident and critical illness. The states are listed here on this screen. And in some states we have the $5,000 plan for critical illness and accident, but it's $45 a month for either an individual or family. So again, those vary by states, and we can elaborate on that further near the conclusion of the call. This plan we won't spend much time on. It is a $10,000 accident benefit, and with that you can pair a $5,000, $10,000, or $20,000 critical illness benefit. With the out-of-pocket maximums we see today, there really isn't an inherent need of a $10,000 accident benefit, so we don't spend too much time on that. So again, to remind ourselves of the value proposition to our clients, so we have the call-MD, the free vitamins, and then again the meat and potatoes would be the accident and critical illness benefit. And then in some states you have the term life benefit. Now, as we move forward as an agent, when you're appointed with us, we create a unique agent website. It has your agent code embedded into it so that you can enroll business, and you can share this website with your clients so that they can self-enroll. We can personalize and customize marketing brochures to you. And then here is the application. So first, we select the state that we're enrolling our applicants in. And then we choose the plan that we want. So the plan at the top is the GAP Plus plan, so that's the accident and critical illness combination. The one in the middle is the GAP CI. That is the $20,000 of guaranteed issue critical illness. So we select our plan. And then if for some reason we need to, we can enter our associate code on this screen. But the bottom line is this. On the top of this page, you see AJ Partners. As an agent, your name will be at the top of this screen. and always make sure that it's there so that you can get credit for the application you write. So simply put, this is the application that we take on the member, and after we complete this screen, we complete the dependent screen here, and then we ask for payment information, so credit card or bank draft. If we use a credit card, then we're focusing on the information from this screen, so we want to ensure that all the data is exactly right. And then if it's a bank account transaction, then this is the screen that we complete. Then as we near the end of the enrollment process, we want to verify the data, the plan, the price, the electronic signature, and then the order is placed. So this is the most important step of the enrollment process. Make sure your client opens their email so that they can click this verification link. Once they open their email and click this verification link, then the application is complete. But that must happen in order for the application to be complete. Also in this email, your client will receive their benefits guide. So the download your benefits link is a simple guide that guides them through all of their benefits and gives them tools in order to understand them fully. So a few hints in using our enrollment platform. Again, it's really a 7 to 10 minute application process. You don't want to place the order more than once. And then the third item, if your client doesn't have an email address, that's all right. You simply enter no email at noemail.com, and we'll reach out via phone and complete the verification that way. Also, make sure that we have the complete and correct address and correct social security numbers. If we do not have those, please call us for further instructions because we don't want to enter data that is incorrect. Once your client is enrolled, they have access to a number of tools. They can find claims forms. They can change their payment method. They can network their small business if they're a small business person. They can also learn about different plans. And then they have a benefits tutor where they can find a PowerPoint presentation and a video which animates how to use their benefits in case they have an accident or critical illness. So on this screen, when you enroll your client, there is a 14-day turnaround time until they receive their ID card and welcome letter. New business process. So if you write the application through Wednesday evening, your client is billed the Friday of that week, and then commissions begin being generated the Friday of the following week if you're on in advance. There's an effective date schedule. It's a PDF form that we'll have Christy share after the call if need be. That simply shows you that if you write an application on a certain date, what your effective date will be. Effective dates are typically 5 to 6 weeks ahead of the date of the application. So with that said, Christy, I'd like to send it back to you, and certainly if we have any questions, I'd be happy to assist in answering those.
Okay, can you go over that? Are you saying what so if I have a client that I enroll today, their effective date will be when? Or is that what you're going to send me?
Absolutely. That's what I'll send you in an email.
Okay. Is it typically like 48 hours, next day coverage, or does it vary depending on?
Good question. So typically the effective date will be about 5 or 6 weeks from the date of enrollment, but that does vary. So I'll send you that schedule. It's a simple 1.5-page form that shows you that if you enroll on this date, then here's your effective date.
Okay. Okay. One question is, can this be done for groups, or is it strictly for individuals?
Great question. So this can be done either way. So the program we talked about today, Gap Plus, we can sell that to groups, but we actually have another program that Christy, I'll talk to you offline about, and that program is called Benefit Boost, and that allows us to use one form to enroll all employees in the group. And by the way, that can be done with no participation requirements.
That's fantastic. Okay. What about list bill? Can that be done?
So what I'll do is that I'll send you, at the conclusion of this call, the email on the instructions we have. We basically have a, what the product I just referred to for groups, Benefit Boost. It's a simple employer application where we list the employees, and then the employer will put in their payment information. So that can be a bank draft. And then instead of there being individual transactions for each employee, the employer will simply receive one bill and one transaction for everyone. So we make it pretty simple.
Okay. Next question is, do you have to join the association to buy the plan?
So it's a good question. So just to clarify, so whenever someone enrolls in this, they're becoming a member of the association. So the $25 per month for an individual, so that gives them the critical illness and accident coverage along with the association benefits. So the association benefits are really included whenever they enroll.
Okay. Next question is, what do you mean by group, in parentheses, group term life, and in parentheses again, group critical illness?
It's a great question. So since this is an association platform, it allows us to offer critical illness, accident, and term life insurance to members on an individual basis, but they really get the benefits of having a group platform. So that would be, it's guaranteed issue, and the rates are lower. So really that's what that means. So you can enroll someone as an individual, but they're really getting the benefits of a group-style chassis.
Okay. Next question is, should either of the GAP plans be elected and the group utilizes a qualified medical plan, will the medical plan no longer be considered qualified, allowing HSA account contributions?
Great question on HSAs. Let me get with you offline to get some clarification around that, because I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I want to make sure that I get you the exact correct answer on that one.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure, well, at least, I mean, again, yeah, let me know, and then Todd asking the questions, I'm going to write down that you're asking that and get back to you, and everybody that's on the call, I will shoot out the answer. Because I know with one of our group GAP, I won't get into that. I digress.
Sure.
Next question is, I guess they're asking, so is that, do you draft the first payment immediately, because since they're not going to have coverage for, say, 4 to 5 weeks after that, or do you take the premium upon submission, or is that upon the effective date?
Great question. So the premium is drafted, so I'll use this as an example. So whatever business that you write through Wednesday evening, your client will be drafted on the Friday of that week. So for example, today's Wednesday, I write my application through tonight, and my client will be drafted on Friday. In reference to the effective date, I'll send the effective date schedule PDF, and that'll show that based on the enrollment date what the effective date will be.
Okay. I had a question. The critical illness, did you say that that pays, for example, does that pay on diagnosis?
Correct. It's a first diagnosis.
Okay, because that's really key too, because I mean, we obviously broker a lot of other products, and I've seen a lot of just standalone critical illness plans or cancer plans that are a reimbursement type of agreement. So I mean, I work in that arena, and it's huge to have, like tomorrow I get diagnosed with breast cancer, that I send my diagnosis in for the doctor, I'm going to get that check. That's really, really important, because again, a lot of other carriers out there I have to save all my receipts, and you're going through chemotherapy, you don't want to do that and have to submit claims forms. So that's a real nice selling point as well.
Right.
Yeah. Another question is just to confirm, because of the association, it is considered group, and that's guaranteed issue.
Right, right. So because this is an association program, what it really does is that it extends the benefits of a group chassis to individuals who buy it. Yeah. So that would be it's guaranteed issue. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And there's call MD in there, correct? So you can
Yes, absolutely. So that's included on all of our plans. And just a quick synopsis of that. So the first 3 calls are free. It's a 24/7 line. And then after the first 3 calls, there's a $35 copay.
Yeah. That's huge. I mean,
yeah.
Because I have not through your plan, but I have a plan myself where I have call MD, and it's fantastic. And I have used it so many times for my daughter. I mean, I work half an hour from where she goes to school, and I'd have to, try to get her into a doctor, or I'd have to take off work. If it's something, again, they're not going to, prescribe mental nervous over the phone, but, I know she gets strep throat a lot, so I can make a simple call, and you can even do a Skype thing, and they call in a prescription for you. So it's really good for, employers too, that, they keep the employees in-house, and it's just a fantastic benefit.
I appreciate that feedback. It's interesting. The founder of our company actually is, and he has the same story that you do. He personally uses this, and he uses it quite frequently. So it's good to hear that sort of feedback, that it works in the real world, and quite frankly.
Oh, and
yeah.
It does, and and even calling in to get into a doctor these days is near impossible. So, I'm sorry if there's any ladies out there. If you have a UTI and your doctor says I can see you 2 days from now, that's not happening, So it's I utilize it a lot. It's great.
Yeah, the convenience. That's a good point. Absolutely.
Next question is, are dependents covered beyond age 21, even if not full-time students?
So dependents are covered until they reach the age of 26, and that's regardless of student status.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to wait another minute. That might be all the questions, but I'll tell you what, this is a great plan. The prices are out of this world. It's guaranteed issue. And I've just seen, I've been marketing GAP plans for the 15 years I've been here. And we've always had them, and I really, really like this one. And I don't think, and I get a lot of calls from agents now saying, hey, do you have something similar to senior care, Medigap, on the underage side? And I think at least in the state of Pennsylvania, because, deductibles until recently weren't that bad. When people went from a 0 deductible to a $250 or $500, they thought the sky was falling. And now people financially have to go to these high deductibles, and the odds of reaching a $5,000 deductible are going to be due to, a bad accident or something catastrophic like cancer, heart attack, stroke. So I'm seeing the trend. I'm getting, my phone rings off the hook every day. Do you have something like this? And people are selling it to protect their clients, obviously.
Absolutely. And then by the way, Christy, per our earlier email, if I'm at the commission level that you and I discussed on the GAP CI program, so 20,000 critical illness, guaranteed issue. So the average monthly premium is $40, and so using an average commission 100% first year. So we do a 9-month advance on that. So, if we're talking about a $40 per month and times 9 months, that's a $360 commission that I've made on that sell in first-year revenue. So not only does it provide excellent client value, but also to the agent, this is a very good revenue stream.
Yeah, absolutely it is. It's probably more than they're getting paid on their major medical plans with all the carriers.
Christy, a funny thing about that is that agents who have partnered with us, they increase their revenue on individual business anywhere from 50 to 80%. And that's, it's a really an amazing story. And it's a really good way to, make it profitable for agents.
Right, and even I would think I mean, I'm licensed, but I don't sell. I mean, I do what I do, but I would imagine even something to think about for, our agents is, even after open enrollment, go back to those clients that you sold a high deductible ACA plan to and say, hey, could you cover this deductible? And I know it's another sale, but it's a very small premium for this plan. But, majority of bankruptcies and foreclosures are due to, a catastrophic illness or an accident, and most of those people had health insurance. So that's another little marketing tip. Go back and to your block of business and see what kind of deductibles they have and talk about it.
Absolutely, and a figure that speaks to the success of that is that agents who partner with us, whether they're bundling it up front or if they're doing what you just mentioned, going back to their book of business, the attachment rate is 60 or 65% on each individual health application. So that's significant.
Mm-hmm. I think the last question we have is, Dave, you're asking is there a replay or a copy of the slides. There is. If you go out to our website, there's actually, I think, this PowerPoint, or I can send you, I think you had sent me the updated PowerPoint, so I can send that out to you. And also, if you register for the webinar and you're obviously on it, you will automatically get a replay of the webinar in 24 to 48 hours. But this can be found on our website as well.
Good deal.
And I think that is all of the questions. And again, if you guys have any questions after this, feel free to give me a call. We're actually closing here in about 20 minutes because the snow is piling up, but I will be in tomorrow, and I check my emails all the time. John one of our agents, John, just got on. John, you will get the recorded version of the webinar in 24 to 48 hours, and I have a copy of the PowerPoint as well, so I'll get that to you. Well, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it. And
thank you.
All right. Everybody have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.